A witch, she echoed after me, looking terrified, she pushing herself far away from me. If you were in my shoes, what would you think of yourself with such power? I asked, gazing at her eyes, filling with mixed reaction. Well, I would see myself as, she began to fumble. It's all right, I interrupted. But please be sincere with me, are you really a witch? She asked calmly, pushing closer to me. I am a girl with a rare gift, a gift that's meant for the good of others, but it brings ruin to me, I replied with so much pain in my heart. What? She exclaimed. I can't be happy knowing I have such gifts that take the happy and good memories away from me, I added. You sound like a broken vessel, tell me all of your worries. Be free, my child, the landlady said while she held onto my right hand. I could see compassion and love in her eyes, it felt lonely looking into her eyes. I could feel so much positive energy running through her. I was determined to tell her everything that had happened. I told her every single thing that happened, from home to moving down to this state, and down to Clara's own part of betrayal. My landlady felt heartbroken all of a sudden. She could not understand the point of Clara betraying me and the part of Jake leaving me for Clara after all I did for him. I shed so much tears, even when I was determined not to cry more, my tears failed me. My eyes were exhausted from crying. She hugged me so tight. Like she knew how bad I need a hug at this point in my life. We hugged for a while before we realized ourselves and ended. She made lunch and I decided to join. It's been a while I ate homemade food, I said while dashing into the food. I could tell. Please eat as you like, I hardly have anyone around, she replied. But why? Where are your kids? I asked curiously. 2 of my daughters are all married with kids. My older son is also married with kids, just the last one who is still busy with work in one of his company in Malawi, the rest based in Canada, running a beauty and fashion brand altogether. I paused for a moment. Who would have thought this landlady had grown-up kids with so much success? On top of that, she has grandkids. What a blessing. No wonder she always speaks polished English like she has based overseas all her life. Her skin looks it, even the settings of her apartment smells foreign. Seems you based overseas for a while, I pitched to clear my thoughts. Yes, I did. I lived there for a very long time before I met my husband Charles, such a sweet man, she replied with a faint smile. Wow, that's lovely. So where is your husband? I asked. Oh, Charles is long gone to be with the angels. If not for you, I would have been with him now, all loved up, holding hands, she replies with a smile which made me smile. I love your food, it's one of the best I've eaten since my stay in this state, I complimented. She gave me a dashing smile, and it melted my heart. I like you, Gabby. From the moment you came to rent one of my apartments, I felt chills and compassion towards you. If you notice, only married couples stay here. I don't let any single person stay in my complex, she revealed. From the moment you came, I gave the apartment to you without question. Indeed, your coming self saved me today, and I am indeed grateful, she added. Thanks for having me here, I appreciate your simplicity towards me, I replied. Well, my son will be coming back this weekend from Malawi, and I would like you to meet him, she pitched in. Huh, I exclaimed, almost choking on my food. Yes, my child, you will meet with him. At least he has to know the angel who saved my life, she responded. I was dumbfounded, I didn't know what to say. I only nodded as an affirmation. I helped clear the table, did the dishes, cleaned the living room of the broken glass while she was on call with some person telling them of how she almost died. I quickly left her apartment after cleaning. Firefighters had already put out the fire from her car and other areas affected. Some tenants rushed into her apartment to check if she's alright the moment I stepped out. I got into my apartment, laid down on my couch and fell asleep. Waking the following morning with so much joy and peace was a mystery to me. I was so happy and energetic. I kept wondering where all of that came from. I made breakfast, rushed to my couch to watch one of my favorite programs when the doorbell rang. Getting to the door, I had a cold feet, like something or someone bad was standing at the other side of the door. The doorbell rang for the third time, getting me more nervous. I opened the door and I got very big shock. Seeing her face made my heart sink in my stomach. "You live in a small apartment but find it so hard to walk to the front door to get it," Clara blasted while she forcefully barged into my apartment. Clara walked majestically inside my living room, with so much disgust written all over her face. Showcased her full Versace summer collection, on a matching outfit with her earrings, everything strictly Versace. I could tell how much Jake has spent on her wardrobe, knowing Clara's love for material things. "What brings you here?" I asked, concealing my anger and misery inside. "You have no right to talk when Mrs. Clara Jake Peak is speaking," the acting director of the Peak Family Associate, she spat. "Now I get you came here to insult me and spit on me. There is no need for that since you have already won," I replied, still acting strong. "I can't waste my precious time doing all of that. I came to remind you of how grateful I am to turn the table of your perfect relationship into terror. I knew something wasn't right about you since we became friends while we were kids. I promised myself to find out what makes you special no matter how long it took me, so I decided to keep being friends with you till I find out what it was. But then you trusted me so much to reveal your witchcraft to me. All I had to do was turn Jake's eyes away from you. His family bought the idea and you turned into a witch in their eyes," Clara revealed. "Oh, poor Gabby. What will you do now?" Clara mocked. Tears almost ran out of my eyes in hearing all of that. I held myself so strong so I wouldn't give in. How could people be this heartless? Someone I trusted and called family could be this cruel. "Are you done?" I asked. I could see the shock on her face. She was expecting the old Gabby who always break down in tears, who was always weak and vulnerable. This time I will not give in for that, not even in her presence. "Now I want you to pack your things and move away from this state and back to Port Harcourt. I don't want Jake having soft spot for you and then come around this place to find you. I want you to leave before noon." "Hope I made myself clear," she instructed. "Clara, money and power does not make a man or a woman. Your husband's money and power will not be able to pull me away from my peace and quiet in this residence. Now leave my house." "And you know I hate to repeat myself," I replied. "Don't leave here by noon and you will finally know if money and power can make a man or woman," she said before leaving and slamming the door. I sank into my couch wailing, how did I get here? My mother warned me about her a long time ago, but I refused to listen. Look at the mess I got myself into. How can this be? Clara telling me to move out from my apartment with so much pride and authority. Few minutes I got a call from the landlady. "My dear Gabby, a certain lady came here to warn me about you and how evil of a person you are and wants me to kick you out of my apartment if you don't leave by noon." "Is everything okay?" she asked with a curious voice. "Do you want me to come over to your apartment if this is something serious?" She showed concern. "That's Clara, the girl I told you about," I cried out. "What?" she puzzled. "She wants me to leave this place before noon. She doesn't want Jake coming around to look for me," I added. "What nonsense. I thought they are happily married now," she asked. "So I thought. I don't know what she wants from me," I replied. "Today will be the last day she will step her feet into this compound. I will call the commissioner of police and other security agents. From now on you are under the care of the government. Not even a hair on your skin will be harmed," she revealed. It dawned on me that this landlady wasn't just a landlady who owns different prestigious compound. She is a powerful personnel who could possibly be dining with government officials on daily basis. "Mom, you don't have to. I can handle it," I replied shakily. "No Gabby, I will handle it this time." "You have been handling a lot on your own, let me step in this time," she replied. "Nobody touches and step on the foot of my own and go about smiling," she boasted and then ended the call. What is even going on in my life? I see this in dramas and Hollywood movies, but how is it even happening to me? Later that day I refused to go anywhere. I wanted to see what Clara was going to do. I lost appetite, nothing about food excites me at the moment. I was scrolling through my phone when my doorbell rang, my heart skipped. I checked the time, it wasn't noon yet, so who could that be? I thought to myself, the door rang for countless time before I summoned courage to get it. What's your problem? Why are you? I paused after seeing who was behind the door. What are you doing here? I asked, looking straight into Jake's eyes. Please, I know I'm not supposed to be here, I need you to hear me out. I am so sorry for all I did to you. I didn't let him finish his statement before I slammed the door against his face. What nonsense, I uttered, positioning myself on the couch. Please Gabby, hear me out, I'm so sorry, he yelled while banging the door. I refused to give him a listening ear just the way he refused to give me a listening ear too. I felt pain and I felt used. He was there for a few minutes before leaving. I called to tell my landlady the recent happening and she told me not to worry. It was 10 p.m. in the night, I felt really exhausted and sleepy. Waited the whole day to see what Clara was going to do, but she didn't show up. It seems her words were empty anyway. I dived into my bed and slept off peacefully. Some hours to 1 a.m. in the late hours of the night, I heard the sound of my shattered window. It got me frightened. I walked towards the living room to see what it was, but on getting there someone stabbed me on my left abdomen with a knife. I couldn't see the face of the person, I could tell it was a guy dressed in black with a beat-up face mask. I fell to the ground trying to escape, but I was too weak to move. I was struggling to stay alive. I was stabbed at a very dangerous part of my body. I was struggling so bad to stay alive. Lying in my own blood was one of the terrifying events I never imagined for myself. The strange man began to make threatening remark. You were warned to leave here, but you disobeyed a very strict order. Well, this is what you get when you try to step on the wrong foot, the assassin uttered. I then realized Clara was behind this one. She had no better plan but to kill me. Indeed, money can change the mindset of man no matter how small or big the money is. I will watch you take your last breath before I leave, the assassin added. How could this be my fate? Drifting away from the world that caused me nothing but pain. I remembered my mother, and my lovely little sister who might be waiting for the day I return home. How would they feel when they get the news of my death? My powers failed me this time. How come I wasn't notified before this ugly event? I have helped so many people with my powers, but my powers couldn't help me in return. I wept calmly as I was about to take my last breath on the cold tiles surrounded by my blood. Suddenly everything became blur. I couldn't see things clearly, but I knew something strange happened after that. I woke up to the sound of the bleeping machine. It was clear that I was on life support, which means I might have been in coma for days, weeks or even months. I gently turned my head from side to side to see who was around me, but the room was empty. I couldn't speak at the moment. It felt like I can't remember words to say or even remember how to say them. I laid down calmly on the bed, patiently waiting for someone to come into the room so I could ask questions. Luckily, a nurse walked to the room few minutes after I woke up. When she turned to check the machine and check my temperature, she screamed like she has seen a ghost. Jesus Christ, she screamed and ran out of the room. I tried to speak but I couldn't. It felt like I forget words that I already knew. While waiting for the next episode, drop your opinion in the comment section.